Hello there everyone and welcome back. I gotta say, I was not happy with how thrown off I got from that damn last video, mainly because an AFK player decided to ruin my tempo. Although, taking the time to stop and look at the replay, go to the washroom and all that probably gave me enough downtime to kind of lose my groove, as it were. Lose the zone, I suppose is the proper term. So I wasn't happy with that regardless, for I felt like everything was sloppy, and I have a vague idea what to do against Zerg. It's just, I don't really get the aggression I would like for the mid-game. I feel like I'm stuck having to wait till the Zerg either expands to a 4th, or they fail on an aggressive attack on me, which probably means I need to be extra greedy with my third base, but that remains to be seen if that's true or not, since that's kind of the reason why I got killed in the last video there with the roach all in. If I had kept those sentries in, it would have bought me some more time. Maybe I could have had 2 immortals out at the same time, which would have made an amazing difference, and I would have been able to at least, again, piecemeal the roaches apart. Kind of like how the cyclone rush there that one time in a previous video could have gone my way, if I wasn't distracted. Nonetheless, let's continue on. It's go time, we're face off against Terran. And I like to think my Terran's okay, since, like I said with my Zerg matches, I have a hard time getting aggressive and harassing, it feels like, where I could poke a little bit with a Warp Prism if I'm safe about it, at least until they decide to get some Vikings. But early on, Terran have a lot of very aggressive type of plays with the Hellions, the Cyclones, Cloak Banshees, which we haven't seen, well, we actually have seen, I used Phoenixes against them, and all sorts of different openings. Actually, yeah, I got the location hotkeys a little bit wrong there, just a tiny bit, but that's corrected. It's still a question of how I want to place my buildings, mind you. I imagine I want to cut off certain pathways for, like, said drops and harassment, so that way they can't just kite away from me with their marines or their mobile units. That's something I'm really going to have to think on, since I mentioned already, since all their units basically have a range attack, it's a bad idea having my buildings on the ramp, because they can still shoot up, especially if they get vision at some point. But if I can get lucky enough to maybe, harass and deny him a reactor, that would be amazing. I probably didn't optimize it the best, mind you, but it still was pretty good to kind of delay him and force wait till 5th Hellion came out for that initial push, so I could still feel pretty good about that. Otherwise, you're just a tiny bit late, but that shouldn't be a big deal, because they probably just rolled off anyway, is what I'm willing to bet. And I made a pylon when I didn't mean to, or need to. In case I was going to get away for greedy expansion, that's kind of what the thought process was. Only 1 gas. It's probably safe just to stay on 1 base. Because I guess you're getting ready for a command center if I had to guess. Oh well, we'll just delay that a tiny bit. So we got the confirmation we needed, and I think that's a Reaper. A Marine would have already been out by now if that was anything else, just due to production time. So we know what we're building. It's just a question of figuring out where the Reaper can jump, which is a large variety, it seems like. Now, let's get the expansion building. Be quick about it. Although, is my opponent doing the same thing, just gonna block this? Nope! They let go. It's not a big deal, mind you, but they would have to reposition the command center, because they can lift those up and drop it off. So this is not a big deal having its placement where it currently is. There. Gotta see if I can hurt this thing. I kind of messed it up a tiny bit, but I actually killed it. I got lucky there. I got a little lucky there, but I'm fine with it. Let's get to building now. And also, I gotta get my pylons building too. Kind of. Oh, did I lose? Oh, I lost my probe, it seems like. I wasn't paying attention, mind you, to the Reaper. But I guess I accidentally walked up into the expansion, which there must have been a Marine or something blocking the ramp, because it never even got to see the update position or even it finished. So I don't know what to make of that there. We're a little bit blind. I was kind of hoping to use that to kind of get a tell of what kind of composition they were going for later. But we're left in the dark. Let's get a tech going. Alright.
Where shall we march?
There. Problem solved there, but we're left wondering what exactly to expect. So hopefully this is not a mistake, just having a observer come out first. It's good to be safe, mind you, but we have sentries. We just need a shield battery at this point, I feel like. There, this might actually kill the Cyclone if I'm lucky enough. Because that Guardian Shield's amazing. So I am thankful in the investment of the sentries just for that alone. But that's kind of why I would have liked an Immortal. It would have helped a ton in dealing with that. And also I'm oversaturated. I am a tiny bit thrown off, I guess. But we got units building. We have an Immortal coming out. I'll have to see about getting upgrades going. But that was an amazing defense. We didn't even lose a single unit. The reason why that Guardian Shield is so important, it's basically an activatable 2 armor, and since the Cyclone relies on rapid fire attacks as opposed to big heavy hitting attacks, I don't need to tell you how valuable that was. That was lucky though. That was just luck ultimately, I feel like, but making those sentries was definitely invaluable in that case. It's still a question of drop play I gotta be ready for.
I return to serve.
Now let's get our Templar going. See what... we have nothing here, so... oh no, they pulled it back. Widow Mines, so... I'm not sure what to make of this composition just yet, but I like to be tempted to make a third. Oh my, lots of Widow Mines. This is interesting. I don't know what to make of that. It's more for a defensive play, because as the name suggests, they're kind of like mines they burrow into the ground. Ooh, this might suck. I will have Archons. I just need to get some Zealots to take advantage of this charge. And where's my... oh, was I really supply blocked that long? That's gonna stink. But at least I can, if I can intercept the army before it gets to me for the attack, that will help me with the Widow Mines, because again, they're all about, like, stay in one place. Like so. I know where they're at.
I return to serve. You must construct additional pylons.
More pylons, god damn it.
You must construct additional pylons.
This is not going well for me.
I feel your presence. Our focus. Glory is eternal. We shall stand.
Yeah, the good thing about this is I think we just defended against this really easily. I lost my Observer, mind you, but I really want to go for a third now after that. Never mind the fact I'm pulling resources. Partly due to the dang oversupply costs there. And I had 2 Stalkers I never even used for that attack, which was a bit of a bummer. They actually have been useful for picking off the Widow Mines to an extent, since I left them back there to kind of prepare for a drop. And now I need upgrades because I'm probably behind with... we have attacks going. Actually, we can deal with this relatively well, maybe. We're just getting pincered by 2 angles, so gotta be careful. And no, you're shooting at the wrong thing. Okay, I think that's okay. We still need more units to deal with these Marauders. The damage is manageable, at least. Just a little bit messier than it probably needed to be. Yeah. Oh, Liberator, so this guy's all about the flanking maneuvers and that. This is where Stalkers come in handy, but... oh, I called the Celts back at a bad time. That's a big deal there, mind you. Did we get the kill? No, we don't. No, we don't. But let's get the upgrades going, because that's also... Damn it. No minerals. Go figure. Which is kind of funny. I have my main mine right now. So, the first few attacks were good there. I'm just getting overwhelmed by multiple types of attacks, it seems like. And not paying attention to the secondary ones. But we are starting to recover. We're saturated here. We just got to get building. And did I lose my Templar? Yeah, I did lose my Templar. Let's see. Yeah, I fell apart there. I have so much gas there. If I had Storm, this would have been much better. I just got out-microed, out-managed there a bit. The first few attacks were good. I just wasn't paying attention to the minimap. That's the key thing there. Watch the minimap, because that Liberator only kills one unit at a time, mind you. I was... What? How many attacks was it I deflected there? Like 3 easily? And the Liberator was the only thing that really did damage. And I got the... Everything started to fall apart there because my resources were pulling up there. If I had been able to keep building, and I think my Templar also got sniped at one point there, because those storms would have been amazing for that final push. Just to soften them up, but weaken them so much more for the Zealots. So it was going well, and then it eventually faltered. That's a shame. Alright, we got a mirror match. This should be fun. We haven't done a PvP in a while for the video, I think. Or the series. So hopefully I can do decently. I'm still content with just sticking with my Devil Stalkers, or at least going Stalkers first there. Might play with the Adepts at some point, but we'll see. And this is way too early, I'm just realizing. So I'm missing on maybe, what, 5 cell minerals? I was thinking like Zerg base there, just having to go down to the low ground. But it's only like 10 minerals roughly. But it's important to get that optimization, so right now I'm going to have a bit of a delay with my gateway as a result, I feel like. Since I have to make this probe as well. But let's get started, see what our opponent's doing, and prepare for it. In the meantime, we'll go double gas with 2 workers on gas to at least maximize my resource count. Hell, I think my last Protoss match was on this very same map too, where the cannons trying to get up on the ledge there, I think. So let's hopefully redeem ourselves after that loss. Since it should have gone my way, I messed it up there. It's the only excuse I have. Now gas, get on in there. We got our second gateway. Only 1 gateway so far, so this looks promising. Potentially looks promising. Remains to be seen though. Because this just this allows me to do an aggressive type play with the Stalkers. Gotta keep an eye out for that. Maybe I've been losing so much I'm about to get into I'm facing lower ranked players with the commentary. That would suck. Since my European server, I'm facing off against diamond ranked players now. So you could tell the commentary is a bit of a big difference in playstyle, so I have been contemplating doing like the tournaments, the brief, the 8-round tournaments that they have in-game that you can do. Oh, really? I was hoping to have enough for another Stalker. I figured I would have them right away, so I was a little bit thrown off by the resources, since I didn't throw anyone else extra onto the gas just yet. Now, I'm curious, though, if this is an Adept or not. Second gateway. I don't even think you scouted my base, to come to think of it. That's something I need to watch for. Just check the blind spots, just to be sure. Okay, Stalker, that I'm okay with. Oh, supply blocked again, that stinks. So, this is the one main thing I need to refine. Remembering to get that extra pylon in. That would be important for these aggressive type pushes. But at the same time, I'm going to have equal Stalker count. And I'm going to have a probe to kind of soak damage. That's what I'm going to use this thing for. I think I'll also get an expansion ready. We'll see. Let's get ready to do some damage, because this is going to be short-lived.
Very well. Forever sleep cold is the void.
Alright, this looks good. Let's get our own expansion going. This is just mostly to scare them. I do need to get my tech going, because who knows what tech they're getting. Alright, stalkers. Get him! Get him, boy! Probe, give us vision! Okay, Robo. We got important intel out of that. I have the expansion my Robo's building. Tiny bit delayed, but the travel distance easily makes up for that to an extent. I don't know. I still have a little bit of time until the Immortal comes out, though. Wow, this is going to be over already. Wow. Well, I'm a little bit let down that I'm not going to have any real type of PvP matches if it's going to turn out this way. Mind you, I'm so slenderly playing Protoss versus Protoss that, like I said, I'm losing so much of my earned matches that I think I'm fighting downrank opponents. But at the same time, what do you consider that Terran player we just played up against? I would argue that's the most well thought out build with the multi-pronged attacks and constant aggression. And ultimately it overwhelmed me, just mainly due to not seeing the minimap. But I would like to see how a real Protoss match turns out, because I honestly don't know how the mid-game's supposed to play out. I assume it involves a lot of disruptors, since the disruptors actually do bonus damage. I'm trying to remember where I see the quick options for the disruptors so you can see yourself there. It's supposed to do bonus damage against shield units, so it's one shot on stalkers, well really one shot on almost anything that's gateway based, and massive amount of damage to anything robotic. I think 2 of these straight kills an immortal. Well, they do have that shield that gives them 100% temporary health, so maybe not. But needless to say, they're really damn potent even in the mirror match. So I'm interested to see, again, how a late game, mid game type of Protoss battle turns out. Ooh, another Protoss mirror match. Maybe we'll get a real game going here. We've seen a little bit of the mid game when I got like thirds and all that in one of my previous matches, but still, I am eager to see how it plays out with disruptors and all that, if I can get there. I just don't know when I'm supposed to get disruptors. It's a big thing. Since they can be so hit or miss, you're relying on them to do damage, because otherwise you have such massive downtime where they're useless and just wasted supply, since it's what, a 20-second timer or cooldown roughly before you can use it again. Hard to say. Either way, let's get this going and see if our opponent here is any different. The main thing I'm watching for, of course, like, if I can abuse aggressive play with like them only have a single gate. That's probably the main thing I'm going to be looking for. Also, I gotta remember, if I'm going stalkers, let's get the double gases and go for 2 probes on each. It gives me a tiny bit of extra gas without cutting back too much on my mineral gathering. It's just a minor penalty for having to spend the extra minerals to build the dang thing. Is the only downside, and that's temporary. Uh-oh. I was a little bit scared. Double gas, we see that. And I forgot my dang second gateway. So I'm not going aggression anyway, from the looks of it. Just gonna see what they build. Although, what's the build time on these things? 30 and 27. They're the almost exact same. So that doesn't really do me much favors then. I'm gonna have a hard time telling what they're building. Also, second gate, or pylon, there it is. I could use adepts, mind you. Although it's a little late now for adepts, I think, since my second gate's kind of reliant on that. There, I think I remember at least the pylon to kind of rebuild my stalker count up. Now I'm just curious to see what our opponent's gonna do. Are they adepts? Are they stalkers? This thing's pretty much dead anyway, and if I try and poke, since they both go the same speed as our dang friend.
Your probes are under attack.
Okay, stalkers.
Your probes are under attack.
Let's see. I'm doing really bad about remembering my Chrono Boost too, which speeds up production of whatever building I put it on.
We are one.
And we're.
You require my skills.
I got first shot. I can do this.
Very wise. State thy bidding.
Same damage there, but being on the ledge gave me the first shot, so I'm okay with this.
I am here.
I just gotta be mindful of sneaky adepts suddenly coming in.
You require more Vespene gas.
I would like to scout, but I guess that's what my observer is gonna be for in all seriousness.
Research complete.
Oh, I need gas there.
You require
I was hoping to make a second sentry, but oh yeah, I forgot to put extra workers on gas. So that's a bit of a shame there. That's part of the reason why I need to remember that as well, but if an aggressive play is coming, I need shield batteries ready. And
construct additional. You require more
I already got pylons building, so we're good there. And you, my friend, are going to see what our adversary's up to.
You must construct additional
If-
pylons.
Actually, I'm just going to fly along the pathway, just in case an attack's coming. Just be ready for that. I got pylons good there, I just need shield battery for good measure. I'll build a second one if an attack seems imminent. Otherwise, let's get our Templar going. Or start working towards that. So far, nothing.
Our cannons shall.
So shield battery, adepts, Nexus is already up. Ah, that's a shame. It got shot down, but you're going robo as well. It does tell me a little bit. Can I get them out of their comfort zone, though? Since all I have to do is just get a very fast third and maybe force a response as a result. Oh, and you still have 2 on gas there? I saw I fixed that, damn it.
You have not enough minerals.
So we'll just hide this thing off to the side since the observer is way back there as opposed to being up front. And interestingly enough, my opponent did make adepts for some reason. I wonder why he made adepts after the initial stalkers, with that said. Since they're not as valuable later game, arguably. Now get ourselves in their observer. Actually get spotting. And hopefully we can see if an attack's coming. I'm just watching for a blur. Do we have the observer watching us now? Nope, don't see it. Not yet anyway. Well, let's get some more gateways. We need some more pylons too. I want to drop in there, but it's probably not going to be as helpful as I think it'll be.
My meditation is over.
Alright, a little bit of damage. We didn't see anything of note, sadly.
Research complete.
That's the only problem there.
Mineral field depleted.
And I'm just curious about if they're building expansion, because that's what I should be doing right now. I never made a location hotkey for that. Silly enough.
My charge.
So we're gonna poke around, try and harass maybe.
We are united.
Can we at least activate the shield?
I return. Mineral field depleted.
And come to think of it, if he's poked out there, then I can at least attack the third. Or attack the main with the drop.
Not enough energy.
Only problem is it's going to be tricky to do that without a reinforcing warp prism. This might be a mistake here. Yeah, this is a mistake since I can't fight this. Since my units are got down, and of course, my warp prism is in a really bad spot. This could actually be really damn amazing. My weapon upgrade just finished. It's just the fact I'm running the wrong way. Oh my god. This is gonna be close. But you're mismicroing. You're mismicroing. Oh my god, that went amazingly. Let's get this crisis out of the way. Oh my god, that was beautiful. And these stalkers are awful against immortals, I'm sorry to say. You need zealots to help deal with that. I am lost for words what just happened there. That was an accidental victory, I feel like.
I return to serve.
I don't think I had any right to win that. With how sloppy my management was. But they are getting Colossus of some kind. So we're gonna have to accommodate them. There. I need to keep building though, and thankfully I have been remembering morals, but as you can see, they're not really contributing very well. So we're gonna need more gateways to help rectify this. We're continuing to kill units though, but we need to get our numbers up. And robotic support bay is about to finish, so let's get our own Colossus going. I probably could be content with disruptors. I would like a couple Archons, but I feel like the Shelters have been so valuable right now. Especially with level 2 weapons now. I am gonna wait for the gateway to finish first.
We embrace the glory of battle. I feel your presence.
This will be painful. This will be very painful. Because those Zealots are amazing against the Stalkers. And let's just kill the expansion right now. Actually, what am I doing? Just kill this cursed thing. Maybe I was getting a bit greedy there trying to snipe the Nexus. I figured there wasn't enough army there for me to worry about. But this is a victory. Oh my god, what a victory though. And actually, we haven't even had a look at our shiny new, well, it's not as dramatic, it's just more glossy is really the new skin of the Colossus. But you could... Alright. I have my own sword, so I'll just use that. That is game. Oh my god, that was amazing. The Zealot flank did work. Good god. I won that battle simply because of Zealots. Maybe I underestimate my actual army, because after all, I was pulling like 1,000 resources for that battle, so I felt like I made I assumed I didn't have the army because of the resource costs up here, but I think it's because of how much my opponent committed to warping in at the main with the warp prism, that he didn't have the reinforcements to kind of like cancel out my reinforcements, is what I think happened there. Actually, I want to look, let's do something different. Let's quickly look at that video, although it would have been nice if I had done just rewind. So I'm just going to skip ahead to that battle, since it's not the most convenient to just pick the area I want, as you can see here. Alright, so I managed to skip it up to where the first big battle comes in, and right now, it just numbers-wise, it looks like his army is so much more intimidating, but they consist almost entirely of Stalkers, which are generally an all-around type unit. They do good burst damage to like armored units, like mainly aircrafts is what you would use them for. They're like the Protoss's main form of anti-air outside of actual air units yourself, whereas the Archon is limited by its short-range potential, but it can hit air as well. But, as I said, the numbers is a much more intimidating, never mind the fact I have 2 Immortals here, and you can see the resource count there, I'm a little bit high. But I think it, with the warp in here, and prompting an overreaction, or at least my opponent to commit to defending it, I think it turns out for the better in the end. I'm just going to go double speed to kind of see, you can see how bad this is for me, even my formation. Oh, we actually did get a third Immortal in just in time, so I'm completely wrong in that fact. Now, I don't know what defended there. Well, just really 3 Stalkers. Ooh, 2 Celts and 3 Stalkers. So we did force a reaction there. Their warp gates are on cooldown. And never mind the fact that I have charge lots. That's kind of something that needs to be pointed out. Since this looks like I'm going to lose my army just if you look at this alone. But then all of a sudden, 4 Celts come in the back. 4 more warp in. If only I had more gateways. And Stalkers are really bad against Celts. You see me stutter stepping, trying to kill Celts, let alone Adepts before. So when you have to actually commit to a fight, your Stalkers are going to get wrecked amazingly. And we didn't even lose a single Immortal for that. I was really terrified. That flank maneuver was amazing. It pincered them down, made it difficult for the Stalkers to use their one great strength, which was their mobility. Even though the Immortals still would have demolished them, hell, like I said, the Stalkers are not really strong there, and the Immortals are meant to destroy anything that's an armored category, which is generally classified down below here. So Stalkers are immortal or armored. Stalkers are armored and Immortals are armored there, whereas the Celts are not. That's basically how it categorizes the unit types. Silly me, I accidentally canceled the DX tour as opposed to pausing the replay. What can I say? But nonetheless, that was an amazing turnaround to what felt really tense, and even then, you could see my resources pool quite a bit. I did a terrible job there managing my economy there from that point, so I'm not happy about that. Even our supply, our probe counts are really down. So I still have a lot to learn with trying to play while doing my commentary, but still, that just shows it's not just the mechanics or the macro, the managing your economy and structures that counts. It's being able to do those type of strategic maneuvers as well that could kind of win the difference. Hell, if there were any Celts in that army, I probably would have had a much harder time and probably would have lost that battle, but since they consist almost entirely of Stalkers and 3 Immortals, that wasn't so much of an issue.